Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are solving the FRQ from 2014, question number 1A that has to do with average rate of change. As always, please take a second to pause this video, read through the question, and then meet me back here for the problem solve. Okay, so in this question, we are given this function here, a of t, where a of t is measured in pounds and t is time and is measured in days. So this asks us to find the average rate of change of a of t over the interval 0 to 30, and of course, indicate units of measure. So when I'm doing average rate of change problems, I like to keep things simple. I go back to my Algebra 1 toolkit and I simply use my slope formula. So my slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So really all I have to do is identify my 2 points. So my first point is going to be given by the beginning of my boundary here. So I can think of this as my x1. And then my second point, or I should say the x-coordinate of my second point, is given by the end of my boundary there, which is 30. Of course, this is in t, and I'm using x, y, and I'm using x to represent my input and y to represent my output. You are welcome to keep this in terms of a and t if you'd like. I just like to keep things simple, and I'm also comfortable switching between variables. Anyways, okay, so going back to it, now that I have my input variables, I'm going to go ahead and plug them into my function to get my corresponding output values. So first, I'm going to simply do a of 0, which is pretty straightforward. So I'm going to do 6.687 times 0.931 to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So this entire term here is just 1. I'm kind of going to just cancel that out since it's equal to 1. Therefore, a of 0 is equal to 6.687. Now, for a of 30, this is going to require the use of the calculator because you can see these numbers are not super nice, and we're going to have to do that to the power of 30. So off on the side, I plugged that into my calculator, and to 3 decimal places, I got 0.783. Okay, so now I have basically 2 points. When my input is 0, my output is 6.687. And when my input is 30, my output is 0.783. So now let's go ahead and plug this into my slope formula to get my average rate of change. I'm going to consider this point here my second point and this point here my first point. I'm just distinguishing that so you can follow along. So basically I'm using this as my x2, this is my y2, and then of course above this is going to be my x1, that's going to be my y1. So plugging it in, I get 0.783 minus 6.687 over 30 minus 0. Again, I just did that in my calculator off to the side, and I got negative 0.197 as my slope. Okay, good. And now, of course, we have to address our units, right? So in order to do that, I can really just think of what the units of my y value were, right? Those were in my numerator. Those are my output values, right? Or my a of t values, which were measured in pounds. So I'm going to start with that. And then in the denominator, I had my t values, which I used interchangeably with x, and those were given, that was time, right? And it was given in days. So this would be pounds per day. So again, I basically just got my unit of my numerator and then put it over the unit of my denominator. So this would represent the average rate of change in in grass clippings from the interval 0 to 30 days. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.